you come to Monday Mass here at this parish with some regularity, you may remember that last year I did this preaching series on mental prayer Mondays. And so today I want to start a new series on Discernment of Spirits. So we can call it Discernment of Spirits Mondays. Does not sound as good, doesn't sound as good, but can't do anything about that. Now, difference from mental prayer. So with mental prayer, it's something that I've studied a lot and I had taught many times before. I had done workshops on that before. So I was just kind of doing my own outlines and that kind of stuff, which I said I would print some stuff for you and I never did. Maybe one day. But this time, I'm just going to follow a textbook for Discernment of Spirits because I've never taught on this before. I've studied it a little bit before, but I've never really taught it, or so I don't have my own outlines. And so there's a textbook, if you will, that I'm going to be following. It's called The Discernment of Spirits, this purple book. An Ignatian Guide for Everyday Living. The author is Father Timothy Gallagher, who actually, I took a class for him on this very subject once. So pretty cool. So if you want to, dive deeper into some of the things that I'm saying, you can always just buy the book and follow along. Or if you want to be able to, check out on Mondays and not pay attention to the homily because you know what's going to happen, you can just read the book and then you'll have that time for yourself. Okay. So, what is Discernment of Spirits? Just to kind of maybe begin to get into the topic. So this phrase, Discernment of Spirits, can be used in a variety of ways. The way in which I'm using it and Father Timothy Gallagher is using it is referring to something that St. Ignatius of Loyola taught about, and he expounded upon this. He wrote these rules called the 14 Rules of Discernment of Spirits. And so the book is basically just going through the 14 rules of Discernment of Spirits. And so that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm just going to go through these 14 rules of Discernment of Spirits that St. Ignatius wrote in the 1500s. Now, these rules are about discerning spirits. So what is discerning? What is discernment? So discernment is kind of sifting through different things. So if you had a jar of beads, right, and of different colors, you could say, hey, let me or different qualities. So you could say, well, let me discern which beads are good quality and which beads are not good quality. So you have to sift through the different beads and separate them so you can have that beads that are good quality and the beads that are not good quality. Sift into different things, right? And so this is about sifting to different spirits that influence us in our everyday life, in our spiritual life. So there's kind of three elements to discernment of spirits. First is just becoming aware that we are often being affected by spirits. And next week I'll explain what I mean by the word spirits. But we're being affected by spirits and all the time. So we got to be aware that this is happening. And we got to understand what is happening, right? So I'm aware that I'm being affected. Then I understand how am I being affected in my spiritual life by different spirits. And then I can take action. These rules are very action-oriented. You become aware, you understand what's happening, and then you take actions. And so because they're very action-oriented, they're very good, they're very practical to any day of your life, really, knowing where am I at spiritually, and are there any actions that I need to be taking to make sure that I'm continuing to answer to God's invitation to live in His love. So looking forward to talking more about discernment of spirits with you.